Okay, so first of all, hey everybody. This is Mars, and I'm here with Mr. Tony Nguyen. And Tony, where are you at right now? I mean, let's just tell everybody where you're at. You're a world traveler. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, I'm actually at the Kuala Lumpur ALA Asia ASEAN Law Society um, event, association event. Yeah, it's a very big event with 700 lawyers.
Yeah. So is it what's it like? Is it pretty cool?
Yeah, it's cold inside and hot outside. It's very hot.
I meant cool as in fun cool. I think you're talking about the weather. So essentially, it's super hot outside and air conditioned inside. But just to start this off, Tony and I obviously been recording these episodes, and to me, this is probably one of the more important episodes in terms of how to handle your marketing, how to handle your branding for any service business, but really specifically for a law firm. And the website really is the biggest combination of everything. It's got video on it, it's got graphics on it, it's got all the different strategies, all the words on it, all the resources and so forth. The first question, and Tony, this is really, a lot of this is for you to speak to, is, why did we decide to do a 100%, not a partial overhaul, but a complete overhaul of the website and the branding and everything that goes on and all the videos, everything it was new when we built this. What would you say was the biggest, couple of reasons why we decided to do a 100% total overhaul?
I think the original website that we had is similar to many other law firms' websites. You just pick up a designer and ask them to do it, and if they ask how to do it, then what we usually do is to tell them to go to other law firms' website and have a look. And we can
Right.
pick some of the themes and then we choose one of them. But I don't think that is the right way for a long run branding development, because as you remember last time we talked about the logo and the rebranding, the slogan and the tag names. All these need to be focusing on one single purpose.
Right.
To-
That really is it. And by the way, Taylor, if you want to pop on camera real quick and just say hi, because you're going to come in and talk a little bit about some of the technical stuff and some of the content decisions that we made. Are you there, Taylor?
Yes, I'm here. Hi everyone. I'm Taylor, and I'm content manager, and I also manage the project for EP Legal. So I'm a part of Mars team, work for like marketing team. So Mars and I and EP Legal, we collaborate very well together to launch this website.
So what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through the exact right pages and the exact right content and the exact right technology to use and why you should be doing it. And this part's really important to pay attention to, because really there's a lot of strategy that goes into this, and we're not hiding anything. So if we go to the site, this is the homepage. And Tony, we'll just talk through this sort of section by section and explain, like why did we make the choices we made, and why, because we could have had one big picture of your face here and not the other partners, or we could have just had a still image back here. So Tony, in your mind, in this hero section, what is it that we're trying to achieve?
I think there are certain requirements for the main page, which is the most important impression for everyone when they go to the page. And we actually order the marketing team to make sure they can see the strength of our partners as a team. So the partners need to be there, and I remember we had quite a bit of discussion on how big they should be in the view of the background. And if you can see the background, the whole idea is about the international and connections of the cross borders, where we have offices in Hanoi, Da Nang, Ho Chi Minh. So we are internal connected and also external connected. We are connected to the world. Right. You can see the London Bridge there, which I like a lot. You can see how the practice spread out around the world.
So last thing is the tagline. The last piece of the puzzle in the key stuff is the tagline or the slogan, right? Which is speed, precision, intelligence. So let's talk about the strategy behind that and how we ended up with speed, precision, intelligence versus we could have had a bunch of other things. Previously, the old website said defining the legal edge. That was the old tagline, right? So how did we land on speed, precision, intelligence, and what are we trying to communicate to the market at large with that message?
I think the modern world has been changing very quickly, and nowadays technology develops so fast, and law firms also have to catch up with that speed. So the first idea that we want to show to the market is that we need to find some taglines that represent a modern spirit. So it must be modern, and modern means speed. I think so. And also because you are speedy and you are living in a legal world, you cannot be too speedy that you make mistakes.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we need something to make sure that your client is put in safe hand, and that's why the precisions come into play. And of
100%.
course, as a legal profession, we need to be thoughtful. We need to be a school of thoughts, and that is where intelligence, the database, all the historical experience that come from a boutique law firm comes into play.
So there's the people, okay? There's the visuals or the environment, and then there's the language. And those three things have to be tied together really well, because a law firm really is made up of people, and the personalities and personas of the partners and the attorneys at the firm really represent the firm. Essentially, the video is, has everything to do with the story that we're trying to tell, and I'll let people go and sort of watch it, and then, there's talking going on in here. But essentially, we're going through and we're reinforcing the exact same message. Okay, this is multiple partners. This is a firm that's based in Vietnam, but also it's around the world, And so you really got to tell your story right off the bat, because maybe 20 years ago it wouldn't matter, or 10 years ago it doesn't matter if you have a good video on your site, but you have to have a good video on your site if you have a law firm. Okay, so now we're getting into the details in this section, and this is the practice areas, and this is the industries. Okay, and this is something I really want to talk about, because I find that most law firms that I've worked with in the past, one of the things I run into is, or just ones that I've observed, even if I didn't work with them, is they tend to mix together their practice areas, right? Transactional work, corporate commercial transactions, mergers and acquisitions, dispute resolution. Those are practice areas. Those are sort of disciplines that the attorneys focus on.
I think in the past there was some confusion in the area of practice and the industry that you're working on. Let's say we were starting as EP Legal as a law firm in energy. So energy is actually one of the industries, but in energy you actually have everything. You do the corporate work for the energy law firms, for the energy firms. You do M&A in the oil and gas industry, very famous, farm in, farm out, and you also do disputes. So it would be split up to different industries, and then in each industry you can split up into different practice, or what part of the legal work are you participating in, and the description is important, and the distinction is important, so that you, as Mark said, so you're sure where you are. The dispute resolution, for example, it covers for many areas, many industries, but we only do most of the work in the industry of energy and construction. Yeah, so it's important to put a niche market by doing that categorization.
Yeah, and so another thing to kind of think about, like from a strategic standpoint, if you're watching this video and thinking about how to structure your site, instead of just showing the practice areas, like the little icons that we just showed, one of the things that's really important about the way that the team approached it, and Taylor, I'll let you kind of speak to this, is the way that you explain what you actually do in that practice area.
So before I started working on the content for this section, I need to, have a lot of meeting with the legal team so I can understand their expertise and the language that we use in the legal market. Because this is not my expertise, and after that I work with Mars so we can come up with the idea for each practice area and the industry. EP legal team, like they're very nice people, but like there are lawyers, so the language they use will be different from my language, like in writing and in content creating. So it's just like a combination between their mindset and my mindset and the language used. So I make sure I understand all of the things that they deliver. So I use my mindset to understand it, and I make sure that my team understand what I'm writing. And if they can understand, lawyers can understand as well.
What I find is when most law firms write their descriptions of things, at least the ones that stay pretty small, they're using really boring matter-of-fact language because it's usually written by attorneys. Okay. But when Taylor got, we had to peel it back a little bit because we didn't want to go into the unbelievable sort of area, right? But I just want to say that it's pretty important to sort of balance making sure that the data is there and the information is there, but that also there's a little bit of it's interesting, and it has sort of good adjectives and good descriptions, right? This section here is essentially all the extra stuff that the firm has, these episodes here are part of that, EP Legal Law Talk. Then there's the newsletter, okay? And the idea behind the newsletter is essentially we put out a newsletter every month or a regular basis. I can't remember what the frequency is, and that's one of the ways that you build up your database. Every law firm should have some sort of information that gets put out. So Tony, talk me through the EP Legal newsletter, because I think I read the last one and I found it to be really interesting and engaging. So just talk me through like what your strategy is and what your thoughts are on the newsletter and how you kind of approach that.
I think the newsletters is I guess all the law firms, when they want to look professional, they will want to do some newsletters. What is different from our newsletters and the general newsletter approach is that we want to have some news that are newer than the others and more important news. When they come fresh, we will want to do it within 1 or 2 days. So every time there's something new, some new developments in the law, we'll try to make at least one copy in English, and the original in Vietnamese available on our website, and then we make some comments on it. So it's some top up to the normal periodical newsletters, which normally covers the legal analysis, legal updates, and some news on the events that we participate in or we organize from time to time.
So actually we have an SEO plugin, so we can keep track on all of the blogs we post every day, and we make sure that every post have like a very unique keyword that everybody will use when they searching for something, and also we have a very detailed meta description that will explain what will be told in that post, and we will follow a format of like SEO format, like SEO quality, to make sure that our post will be on higher ranking on Google.
Thing is, the reason why we put the glossary here is the same sort of reason, okay? Each one of these search terms, each one of these things that somebody might be looking up because they want to know the definition of it, or they want to understand, like what it means. We now own part of the search engine rankings for each of these things, or potentially, not all of them, but it just gives us extra statistical odds of being found when somebody's looking for something and getting in front of somebody, right? So this is something that noted we need to do it? No, absolutely not. The question is, what are the simplest ways to maximize your odds of getting in front of the greatest number of people? And this, again, is part of that strategy, right? EP Legal has represented some huge companies, okay? I mean, huge companies. Some of the biggest companies in Vietnam, for sure, especially in the energy sector, in the finance sector, in the transportation sector. And none of us really likes to brag, because it just doesn't look good. But honestly, people go off from this. You know, this stuff is so important that you can actually demonstrate who your clients have been. But the point of it is to cleanly communicate the caliber of people who you have represented and who have trusted you to do business, to represent them, essentially, right? Super, super, super important. We got some other case study things and all that, and then we're down to the bottom. And then we also have an award section, and I think an award section is super important.
Yeah, I think showing other people how good you are is very important in the first place, and having your name ranked on a reputable ranking system like Legal 500 or Who's Who Legal is very important, because some ranking systems you cannot buy it. How much money you have doesn't matter. You need to be considered and viewed by your peers, by the other lawyers, as outstanding. For you to be in the list of outstanding lawyers, and usually the clients want to meet with outstanding clients, because they can guarantee that the quality of the service is good, the speed of the service is good, and the standard of the service is up to the international standard. So we have all the rankings that we have fought for so many years to get there. For example, the benchmark litigation, we always have the outstanding and highly regarded lawyers, including myself and other partners. Legal 500, we are ranked usually on the top, like second best tiers. And this, you cannot underestimate the importance of this, because when the client first time heard about you, they will go to the website and see, not your website, the Legal 500 website of Chambers and Partners, or some popular ranking system subscriptions, and they will see how you are ranked amongst the others. So that is important.
So with that, I'm going to go to the About page real quick. Most of these pages are a little bit less complicated, but the About page is actually pretty important. How we thought about how to do this in terms of meeting the team. The page is pretty straightforward. You know, a lot of the sections are actually repeated. But one thing that you absolutely have to do is show the level of talent that you have on the team. You know, and so here at EP Legal, it's a team of really talented people who actually care a whole lot. Nobody at EP Legal that I've met, and it's one of the reasons why I work with them, sort of just shows up and just to do the work, right? They all are really passionate about what they do. You guys are all really passionate about what you do, Tony. So I'm just gonna click through and just show you what we call the hero page. This is sort of like, you know, each person gets their spotlight, and you know, like to be sort of like the spotlight shined on them. And then the way that we broke this up, the rest of the pages are all pretty straightforward, and we don't really need to go into it too much. But what the 4 tabs that we have here, there's a general overview where we get to tell everything that Tony has, you know, accomplished, right? And then also his sort of specialty areas. And without going into too much, you can see this really is not thick with detail, because you don't want to bore people. You just want people to be interested, right? We have a separate page for recognitions, like a separate tab for recognitions. These are the ones that specifically that Tony, you know, brought in, because again, these rankings, they actually matter. You know, people need to know, wow, he's a part of a lot of big deal stuff, right? Because then that way they're just going to take it a lot more seriously. We want to talk about your memberships, obviously education, and you know, in this case, since EP Legal is, you know, both Vietnamese and in throughout Europe and the UK, basically, we want to really communicate that this is a multilingual firm, not just a local firm. But these things are all really important to communicate. And then, you know, another thing that to me that's really key is sort of the point of contact information, like to make it very easy for people to get in touch with that person, right? That's really super important. They shouldn't have to fill out an email form, right? And then obviously, you know, representative works, things that he's done in the past. And Tony, you're free to speak about any of this, dude. And then again, video is so important that one of the things that we have that not every firm has, and this was Tony that requested this, is a specific video about each partner. So this is just Tony's video talking about what Tony believes
Yeah, I think it's important that we have a very short, quick video telling people about yourself as a person and as a CV. So we don't want people just to see a CV. People need to see someone who they trust and who they can work with. So in the video, I don't actually talk about how I perform the work so well or I'm so good at doing my work, but it's more like the personal approach that I have with clients and with my partners and friends.
So this is Quynh Ann's video, but it's actually how she interacts with the team, how passionate she is about being a not just an attorney, but a Vietnamese attorney. And then we actually show like a lot of her personal time with the team. And then for the other team members, not everybody gets that. That's just for the major partners, and that sort of like shows. The rest of them do have the here's their sort of backstory and what they're capable of. But you want the people who show up at the site to be able to look through and see the caliber and the volume of talent that you actually have on the team. I mean, and then contact. Okay, this is just sort of like this part's actually important. I find that a lot of people don't know what to put on their contact forms. There's some key information that you want to put on here, especially like you definitely need them to give your phone number and their email, but we kind of want them to tell us, what's their area, what's their problem area, right? What are they interested in? This part here is actually pretty important. And then a little space for them to actually sort of type out what their problem or issue is. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is just, again, one of the things that we have here is just being able to switch it to different languages. This is an important thing. We go back to the home page. Everything switches to Vietnamese, because we are a Vietnam-based firm, and at the end of the day, it can't just be in English. So the entire site is represented in both Vietnamese and English. So Taylor, any final thoughts from you before we go? I appreciate you being on this one and talking through with people the stuff that Tony and I have no clue how to talk about. But anything else you want to say before we let you go?
I just want to say Mars team and EP Legal team, we work so hard, and we collaborate a lot, spend a lot of time together to put this website into operation. And I hope everybody will check it out, because we update posts daily, and we also update videos that our partners or some expert in legal market sharing their knowledge and the experience. So you can check it out in EP Legal News or in EP Legal Law Talk to learn more.
All right. Well, thank you, Taylor. So Tony, last word's all yours, sir. I think you're a pretty awesome dude, Tony. So I appreciate you getting on this episode, and I'm looking forward to doing the other episodes with you. So I'm handing you the mic, man. Last word's yours.
I just want to use an idiom to talk about this as a whole episode. I echo Taylor in saying that you have to put a lot of hard work into something that you want to be good. And you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. That's what it is. And don't underestimate the amount of work that you have to do to get a good job. And this is a good job.
Right. And I hope everybody got something out of it. So with that, man, I think we can wrap. And you guys, thanks for recording this with us. And just say goodbye. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure there's going to be a place for you to put your email in and get onto our email list, so we can send you notifications about the episodes. Make sure depending upon where you're watching this, that you like it, you subscribe, and make sure you give us your email so we can send you notifications so you don't miss anything, because a couple of these episodes are going to be super deep and super valuable. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you.